Welcome, welcome to the Heads Together podcast. I am your host, Gill. Very, very happy to have you with me this week. This episode is going to be much more promotional of something I have coming up than usual, but it's because I have so much to tell you about it. I decided that instead of sticking a little call to action onto the end of another episode, I want this episode to be all about me introducing to you the Collective, which is my up and coming membership exclusively for outstandingly good coaches who want to build a phenomenal business. I'm not going to tell you any more right now. Let's get into it. And then I'm going to give you all of the info. And hopefully by the end of this episode, you're going to be as bloody excited as I am, which is very. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the Heads Together podcast. I'm Gill Mokes, and I am obsessed with cutting through the noise when it comes to growing your business. Each week, via intimate coaching conversations and inspirational stories, I share what it really takes to get the results you want in a way that feels right to you. I am all about attracting higher ticket opportunities, building authentic relationships, and creating the abundant, full-fat version of your dream business. I mean, how many of us have beavered away creating a light version of what we really want? The thing is, I honestly believe when you're outstanding at what you do, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So, are you ready to put our heads together and make it happen? Let's go. Okay, so I've managed to calm myself a little after that intro. It won't last long, trust me. I am officially pulling back the curtain today for you on the Collective. This is my membership that's designed by me specifically for coaches who want a clear roadmap to grow their business. They don't want the noise, the fluff, the overwhelm, all of the stuff that's out there. And honestly, that stuff that's out there is really why I've created this membership, because I actually had this thought. I think I was in bed. Sometimes I often keep a notepad next to the bed because I have some of my best thoughts in the middle of the night. And then it's like my eyes won't wake up enough to be able to manage to type it into my phone, God forbid. So I keep a little notepad where I scribble things down. And that really was the seed of this membership, of the Collective. It was a thought I had in the middle of the night, which was, what if there really was a one-stop shop when it comes to growing your coaching practice? You know, for those of you who follow me for a while, you know about the Coaching Business Academy, which is absolutely my flagship offer. I'm so proud of the Academy. I'm so proud of the results that my students get when they go through the Academy. But the Academy is an intensive 6-month program where you are getting weekly coaching to implement everything I teach you. And the thought I had was, what if there was a membership that was really this one-stop shop for getting everything? The roadmap, the do this thing next strategy, a community of supportive peers that are going to really cheerlead you. What if it was also a home to all of the different masterclasses for the ancillary skills that it takes to grow a business? Because we all know that growing a business is about more than being a great coach. I don't teach you how to be a great coach. I don't teach you that in the Academy. I don't teach that to my private clients. I only work with great coaches. But if you are a great coach and you want to know how to build a really profitable coaching business, then I'm your woman. And I wanted to bring all of this together into a membership that was accessible for coaches, no matter where they are on their journey. You might still be in your 9-to-5 job and you're really kind of at that very coach curious early stage of thinking, I think this is where I want to go with my career, but I don't know enough about it yet. I don't know what it would take. This membership is for you. You might be an established coach, but you're not seeing your revenue matching your reputation yet. You know you get great results with your clients, but your business isn't growing. You're not getting enough of those clients through the door. This membership is for you. This membership is everything a coach needs to grow their business. Seriously, grow their business. It is a one-stop shop. I'm so bloody proud of it already. You can tell I'm overexcited because I'm talking really fast. I'll try and slow down. I can't promise it's going to happen. So the reason I created this membership, it's because it is chaos out there. We're all completely drowning in the information. There are courses, challenges, summits, freebies. They're all flying at us. Every direction, everyone shouting over each other, trying to tell you the right way to build your business. And honestly, that is exhausting. I see this in my clients all the time. I see this in my academy students who are so relieved to have found a trusted source to learn from, right? And so I wanted to create this one trusted space, this calm, clear, really focused home for coaches who want to grow an actual, real, sustainable, fulfilling business. And I wanted it to be a place where you don't have to keep second guessing every move in your business. I wanted it to be a place that actually gives you the answers. Should I do this or should I do this? Okay, I'll go to the collective. I can find out. I don't want you to keep wasting hours trying to patch together a strategy from little pieces of 50 different online business gurus who have told you different things, right? I want this trusted one-stop shop. That's what the collective is. So in this episode of the podcast, I wanted to take you behind the scenes and kind of explain what's waiting for you inside the membership. We don't launch until the 29th of May. So depending on when you're listening to this, you may be able to sign up for the waitlist, or the membership may be open. Maybe it's beyond the 29th of May when you're listening to this and you will be able to join now. But even if it's just the waitlist that's available for you now, I wanted to explain what is inside, because this isn't actually just a membership. I don't see it as a membership. I see it as your coaching business HQ. I talk all the time about, Moke's HQ when I'm talking about my own business, which when I say it out loud now actually makes me slightly cringe. But I don't care. I'm going with it because I talk about Moke's HQ, things over here at Moke's HQ. And I want this to be your coaching business HQ. So I'm going to break down what is inside the collective. So first up is the roadmap. Now, the roadmap is a step-by-step pathway that walks you through exactly what to focus on in what order. So from refining your niche to creating your offers to building out your marketing plan and your sales systems, everything is laid out in the roadmap. You don't need to wonder what you're supposed to be doing. If you follow the roadmap, lesson by lesson, module by module, that is your pathway to a sustainable business. Okay? It's the heart of the learning inside the collective. It's really kind of bite-sized trainings. These are not long videos to watch. These are bite-sized trainings, but they're very sequential. Each one builds on the previous one. And it gives you everything you need to build the foundation of a successful coaching business. It is effectively a coaching business school, but without all the jargon and the overwhelm and without the price tag of a more intensive group coaching program, right? This is for my DIYers out there. Not everyone is ready to join the academy and have that immersive 6 months of very intimate group coaching to take you through this. For some people, absolutely, they're ready for that now. And, we open up the academy 4 times a year for you to go through in a cohort. But this is accessible at any time. You can do this at any time. You can join the membership and begin this journey. Now, you might find at some point that you think, you know what? Okay, I've got the information, but now I want that group support to implement all of this. And maybe you will, maybe you won't. But this roadmap part of the membership is standalone value. It's incredible value. I actually toyed with the idea of drip feeding this to my members. So in other words, I went through this whole agonizing internal conversation around, but what if someone joins the membership and then doesn't renew or doesn't stay a member for very long and they've had all of this value? Perhaps I should just drip feed it, or maybe they have to have a minimum amount of time they have to spend in the membership before they get that content. And as I was having these thought processes, I suddenly thought, this is not sitting right with me. And I realized it's because one of my core values is generosity. And the thought of gatekeeping this information or making it dependent on something didn't feel right for me at all. That's just not who I am. So, like everything I put out there, this membership, the collective, is incredibly generous in terms of what you get for your money. So that is the roadmap. That is your core curriculum that you will work through as a member. Next up is the resources. Oh, the resources. My goodness. I hadn't realized how many resources I had at my fingertips already to share with you inside the collective. We're talking templates, workbooks, spreadsheets, scripts, planners, just, oh my goodness, everything that you need to support you in this business building journey. Right? And these aren't fluffy downloads. Honestly, a lot of these are the tools I use in my own business and with my private clients. They're all there to save you time and help you move faster on this journey of building your business. So that's the resources. It's absolute, you can just browse through, take what you need, leave the rest, but there is so much gold in there in terms of the things you need. Like I say, a lot of them are tools I use myself. They're tools I've created for myself in my own business and still use and therefore know work. I'm sharing all of that. They're really, the playbook to my own business is really inside the collective, to be quite honest with you. In fact, in the resources, I do actually share my entire tech stack. So I share every single tool I use, like Riverside that I'm using right now to record this podcast, Kajabi, the platform that the membership is hosted in, Asana, my project management tool. I share everything that I use. I'm not saying that those are all of the best. I'm saying that they are what I know and love and have tested for a long time and don't hesitate to recommend. Next up is the masterclasses. Oh, okay. I want you to think Coachflix. I'm sure that's been done elsewhere. I'm sure I haven't just patented that name. I have no doubt other people have come up with that. But honestly, if you are a coach, this collection of masterclasses that's going to be ever growing, of course. I mean, I already have quite a few that are already inside the collective, but we'll be adding to it every month with brand new class drops, either from me or from a guest expert. And these are masterclasses on everything from strategy to mindset to marketing, messaging, PR, sales, you name it. It is absolutely binge-worthy. That's why I keep thinking it of Coachflix, right? That's what I want this to be. I want this to be a go-to hub where if you're finding like you want to do more with LinkedIn, there's a masterclass for using LinkedIn for coaches. I'm about to host a masterclass on email list building for coaches. That masterclass will sit inside the collective. We've had lots of masterclasses in the past, things like confidence on camera. That's an awesome masterclass. So lots of great topics, and you can just binge them or just use it to go to and search for when you have a project that you're working on. You want that kind of support for a specific project. Next up is the sanctuary. That's the next part of the collective. And the sanctuary is just all about the inner work. Because, building a coaching business is more than just the strategy and the do this thing next. It's about more than the marketing and the sales. It's about who you are. And the sanctuary is where we do the inner work. It's the mindset shifts. It's the confidence building. It's the energy work, the intuition work. It's becoming soul aligned. And the reason that came to my mind is I've invited 4 very special resident experts to really build out the sanctuary with their knowledge and expertise, because this is not where I excel. This is where I know I have colleagues who absolutely do. And these incredible women have agreed to be resident experts inside the collective and form the sanctuary, which is where you're just going to find so much powerful content in here. Meditation work, breath work. This is something that a lot of memberships really skip entirely. And I was really adamant that we give space for this work because it is so important. The work that I've done with Deborah Driscoll is incredible around intuition. Jennifer Evans, soul alignment in your life. She brings so much to the table. Alicia Rodriguez, you'll know her as the author of The Shaman's Wife. We did a podcast series with her. So much gold to offer. Anand Quinn. Anand is an emotional well-being coach. So important. She offers incredible meditations and really deep work. These are all women who have been guests on this podcast in the past, and I'll link to their episodes in the show notes of this one. And I'm so happy that they have all agreed that they would love to be part of the collective and to share this beautiful inner work inside the sanctuary. And finally, really the beating heart of the collective, which is the community. And this is a space that will be filled with these ambitious, big-hearted coaches who get it, right? I don't really care about the size of this membership. What I really care about is that the women inside the membership are aligned. They're women who are doing the work. They're women who are going to cheer each other on, are going to ask questions. They're going to share their wins. They're going to lift each other up. I really want this to be a space of like-minded people. And I read that a lot, but I want it to be embodied by this membership. And in the community, there's going to be space to chat. It's where we will have all of our events. So every month there'll be a Q&A session with me open to members. So you'll absolutely be able to jump on Zoom, and it will be a kind of first come, first served in terms of raising your hand to ask your questions. We will have co-working sessions, all of the masterclasses, and any of the classes that we do with the sanctuary. All of those are going to be, held as events inside the community. So if you are listening to this and you're thinking, I love the sound of this, Gill, and I absolutely have been looking for that one-stop shop, that one place where I can go to get trusted, reliable information around what it actually takes to grow a coaching practice, something that I know a lot of you are feeling the pressure on at the moment in terms of, I'm doing all the things, but I'm not seeing the growth. I'm not seeing the clients coming along, right? That is what the collective is for. That is that one place. You don't need another course. You don't need another download to grow your business. You need a home. You need a hub. And that's really what I want the collective to be. A coaching business membership that actually helps you build a coaching business. So I would love to welcome you inside. And like I say, I'm going to put a note in the show notes with the link to join the waiting list for the collective. Founding members are going to get in at a price which won't be repeated. So of course, I always do that for anything I do. The people who put their trust in me first without getting to see the evidence, you're always going to get in at the best price, right? That's only fair. So I would love you to go to the show notes, explore the details around the collective, go to gillmoakes.com, find out more. Also, if you are listening to this before the 21st of May, I'm going to be hosting an open house. I talked in a couple of episodes ago, or it might have been the last episode, about hosting open houses as a strategy. Well, it's something I do in my business. And this is a perfect example of how powerful the open house strategy is, because I can only do so much in a podcast episode like this of describing what is inside this membership, right? I can only go so far as to get that across to you in a podcast. But what I can do in an open house is I can invite you in and I can screen share and I can walk you around and show you exactly what's inside the membership. So I think you will really enjoy it. If you're thinking, oh yeah, this sounds good, I really want to know more about it, I'll pop the link to sign up to the virtual open house in the show notes as well. So there's going to be lots of resources in the show notes for this episode. Make sure you do go there and have a look. Head to gillmoakes.com, click on podcast. You can find the episode there. Or like I say, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, anything like that, the links are going to be in the show notes to the episode. Okay. Well, I hope this has got you somewhat excited. Like I say, if you are a coach who regularly listens to the podcast and uses the teaching that I do inside this podcast to learn how to grow your coaching practice, and I know a lot of you do that. I had someone join the academy in the last cohort who said to me, do you know what, Jill, up until now, I've actually been using your podcast almost as a program. I listen to each episode and make my notes and then go and do that. I just love that. How brilliant is that? You know, that makes recording this podcast so worthwhile. I just love it. But yeah, if this sounds like something you want to do, head to the show notes, sign up to the waitlist. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed hearing about the collective. I've enjoyed talking about it. It's kind of like my baby at the moment, and I'm just enjoying bringing it to life so much. It's not fully built out yet, as always. I am telling you about it before it's actually ready for you to jump inside, but we will be launching on the 29th of May. So that is our countdown. The countdown is on. Great to be with you here again this week. Until next week, bye for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that getting our heads together this week has filled your mind with what's possible. If you love the show, would you do me a massive favour, please? Would you leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts? It would really help me put more heads together, reach more ears and expand more minds. Until next week, bye for now.